So I was sharing that you've written 16 books.
Yep.
I shared that you are a book coach, that you are Wooster publisher, and you are also our speakers and coaches society publishing partner. So excited about that. There's so many questions around writing a book. I know we were talking about earlier the percentage of people that their goal is to write a book sometime in their lifetime. And you were sharing with me what percentage out of that actually write their book. Can you share that? Because that's astonishing to me.
Yeah, so it's really crazy. And if you Google this, you'll get different percentages. But the lowest one you'll probably find is that 87% of all people want to write and publish a book. And you can see numbers all the way close to 100%. But less than 5% actually take action and do it. And so writing a book has become kind of one of those bucket list type items, like running a marathon or, losing a significant amount of weight or something that people just kind of put on their list. But then because they don't have a strategy or plan for actually taking action on it, they may tool around with it a little bit, but then they kind of abandon the project. And so it just ends up back on the list again, in the new year. So, and I find that too, is when people get to me, it's actually been on their list for, 10, 15 years to write a book. So it's really crazy when you see those statistics though.
I know there are a lot of advantages, especially in particular for our community, speakers,
Mhm.
coaches, content creators, really passion driven entrepreneurs. So, what are some of the key benefits of publishing a book and becoming an author?
Well, one of the things we haven't talked about, but is so pertinent to speakers is, for example, I went to Russell Brunson's big kickoff, last summer, and the speakers, and these are big, big entrepreneurs, big public speakers that usually command a big fee. But for his particular event, they were not allowed to pitch from stage, and they also weren't paid to be there. So why would they do that? So, first of all, what they did was they were allowed to leave swag in all the chairs. So, every single person that came in there basically had a stack of books because that's what they were all bringing. Now, that book was great because once they went up and spoke, that created interest for the right people for their other products and services. And then they had that book to take home that really encapsulated those ideas and things. And so it's a great takeaway to give somebody as well when you have coaching, you have other speaking things, you have digital programs, workshops, other things that you offer, because social media and these other ways that we get our name out there, we're really just giving people little sound bites. And I don't know about everyone else, but like if I get on Instagram, I'm scrolling. So I'm seeing a lot of people's content. And so I'm not really probably absorbing it. And so a book is a great way for you to name and claim your expertise. And it's a great way to kind of introduce somebody to you globally. That's the other thing, globally, and ascend them through a relationship with you into some other things that you have going on, because you've built that like, know, and trust through the book, and they've already like opted in or opted out of, joining the rest of your universe based on that. And so it's such a great tool. The other thing too is when you self-publish, your author copies for yourself are just a little over $3. And if you think about that, it costs like $5 to boost an Instagram post for a day. And what's more valuable? Taking a book for like $3 and shipping them out to, say you want to do speaking events or you want to get a new client or something, but putting those in the mail to them with some kind of letter, it makes an incredibly valuable lead magnet too. So, I mean, there's so many great reasons to write a book, and then not to mention what it does for you yourself. So I had a book that came out in December that represents my business, like the methodology I do with people. And I was telling you, Wendy, like I literally now, for any program I create or public speaking I have to do or social media content, I can literally just pull it from the book because I took the time to organize my thoughts and ideas into one place. And now I'm repurposing the content for my book as well. And I can hand it to assistant to do it for me too. So it's just all around a great way to kind of get your name out there and really claim that expert status.
Yeah, I love so many things of what you said. Number one, if they have a tangible book, they have it living on their bookshelf. So it's right there. So you always have presence in their home.
Hmm.
And then, they've read your book. So now they have another deeper connection. People see the book. So it's like a constant reminder. It's not a just one and done. I love what you shared because so many people are talking about Facebook ads and Instagram boosts and all those kinds of things and for the investment of the book. What I love so much around what we're doing here is we're doing it as a collective because it is very daunting and the statistics are crazy why people don't actually really get it done. It's important to them. They want to do it. They see the value in it, but where do you start and how do you organize yourself and who's going to, push you to get up in the morning and write? Like what's going to inspire you to do it? Like who's going to inspire you to do it? Right? It becomes you, yourself, and I. Like if you do it by yourself, it's just you, yourself, and I. And that is just the writing process,
Right.
figuring out what to write and then staying inspired. And then number two, for anybody that has written a book, I know when I wrote my first book, I was like, now you wrote a book, now what? How are you going to get it out there? Right. So there's the marketing. And I heard all these stories and I shared this with you. Like I would hear like Wayne Dyer, or I would hear like just so many people talk about filling their trunk filled with books and then traveling for months, going to bookstores, speaking all over the place. Where I was like, oh, that just sounds like, one person filling their trunk up with books. It just sounds like a lot. So I love the way that we have formed this collective. And now we have the community book project that's part of the speakers and coaches that is called to speak. So it's called to speak, lead, and impact, all the things that our members, and I know for me and for you, that is important to us personally and professionally. And I
Yeah.
know that you've done quite a few of these as well. You've just finished up on one of those projects and you're working on ours and another one that you just finished up as well.
Yeah, we actually have one. The official launch date is next week. And and some of the participants have already written their own book, but they wanted a collaborative experience. They also wanted to be able to kind of follow along and see, how do we do marketing? How are we packaging this? How are we putting together a launch strategy so that they can use it for their own projects as well? But not to mention all the interaction that happens between the participants, because look, just like you said, we're better together. And a collaborative book project allows you to get to know other entrepreneurs, other people who are like-minded, like-hearted, and you can start bringing each other into Facebook Lives, podcasts, different opportunities, or just have somebody, that you can talk to that understands the language you speak, is so valuable. But, we do everything based on the standards set by the traditional publishing industry, but utilize the best and the great advantages you get with self-publishing as well when it comes to, you can do a lot more with marketing with self-published than you can with a traditionally published book, because you're allowed to control the price and you're allowed to do different things that you can't necessarily do with a traditional published book. So, we like to have these projects be like a celebration. And at the same time, we're trying to provide a mastermind like experience for our readers, so they really get the best out of each author, the best of what they have to offer. And that serves the reader and the author equally as well.
As and in regard to getting, so I love that, and the process that we are going to be connecting together. So we'll be doing these book coaching calls, and you're going to be leading the helm on that. And we are kicking off. We're doing a soft kickoff today, and then our big kickoff next week. And all around, like some of the questions that come up, like the difference between being an author and being a best-selling author for one, like getting that status, and because you've helped other people do this, like to know all the little ins and outs and all of those nuances. And so for those of you, Patricia and I are going to be in a breakout room here in just a few minutes. We're calling it a roundtable. So we're going to invite you here to come join us in the roundtable. You can ask Patricia, you can ask myself any questions around becoming an author, the benefits, getting involved with our book project as well. So super excited about this. Are there any questions? We can maybe take one or two questions here before we jump into our roundtable session, and then the networking component opens up as well. Let's see if I can see any questions. I'm going to switch screens for a moment and see. Let's see. Kathy is commenting. I'm just reading through. Kathy, we're super excited. You're on board with us. Teresa, we're super excited. So Teresa's saying, I'm excited. It's going to be her first book. For Kathy Mila, it's going to be her second book. Yeah, we have a lot of interaction going. Oh, and a lot of really fun gifties along the way. Okay, let's see. Collaborate with others, database. Okay, that's really important to talk about that, the database, because if you take 20 authors, we're going to have a total of 20 authors, and you take their list and then combine them together. Let's say out of that list of 20, that you have 10 of those authors that have a list of 10,000. Like, you think about, automatically you've got 100,000 people that are marketing, and we're all speakers. So every time one of the authors, the collaborators, gets on a stage and they lead with their book, and that's their they have a table there, they sell their book, they gift their book, however it is, they're getting it in hands in different communities, in different audiences as well. So that's a way to easily, we talk about the 10x concept. That's an easy way to 10x your reach as an author, and doing it on your own, doing it by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's, every time, like you said, somebody hands out the book, they are not only handing something that's representing them, it's representing the other participants. And that's why it's been so important for us to, really do our due diligence in who's participating, having really good coaching and a framework, because, we want our books to be the best representation of us. We want them to look like they belong, on the front table at Barnes and Noble. And so when we utilize and are able to leverage each other's audiences, there's so much power there. And that's, we hear over and over again about Dream 100 list, and find people who have your audience to leverage. This collaborative book project is a way to do that just automatically, and we found, like, in this last book project, I was telling somebody, I think I've hired, about 20% of the participants to do some different things within my own personal business as well. So we're shopping, amongst each other too, because we all need these different things. And, it's just about awareness and, having that trust. So the collaborative book project, when done well, is such an opportunity for so many different ways to expand your reach.
Yeah, and I was thinking about how many podcasters we have that have shows and podcasts, and also host their own live events and virtual events. And I produce an event every month, and that's virtual, and now starting to do a couple live events as well. So you'll get booked on more stages. You'll have a greater presence in social media. you have a greater presence just in general, and then ultimately make a greater impact in the world. And of course, when we talk about impact, we also talk about income, growing your income. This is how you, like when you think about ROI, investment in your business, a lot of things that we think about where we invest in business. I know for sure that investing in becoming an author has been the greatest investment I personally ever made. But I've been an event producer. I mean, that's what I did in corporate, coming from the pharmaceutical industry and being in sales. So I happen to really, I think of sales as service, like you're doing a
Mhm.
disservice. So I like sales. And then, you know, when you think about the whole big picture of where you're investing in your business, because we're hit with all these ads and we're like, okay, so, and we're really thinking about ultimately how are we going to make an impact, reach more people, and monetize our mission. Like we're thinking about
Yeah.
these things. So the greatest investment I know for sure for me has been investing in becoming an author. So we're really super excited that you are speakers and coaches, publishing partner, Patricia, Wooster Publishing. So fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. Are there
Thank
any
you.
closing words? I know we're going to move over to the roundtable session as well.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get started, to get to know everyone, to help them, fulfill their mission. And, we're going to do a really concentrated effort of making sure that the people that participate with us are building the right audience for their business in how that they frame their chapters and their expertise. So we're just really excited to get started. I'm really excited about later this afternoon when we have our celebration with our soft launch. So, yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions, Wendy.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're getting ready to move into that exclusive collaboration segment. So the way it looks, Patricia and I are going to be in a room, in a session room that you'll see over to the left. By the name of, you'll see Roundtable. So you can come join the two of us. And you can come, you can stop in because we're only going to do this for 15 or so minutes. So you can just stop in and say hello and get your question answered, get some more information, connect with us over there. And we have the networking component that goes till 12:30. So if you're going straight into networking, you just hit the networking button and then the system will automatically pair you with someone randomly from another part of the world. And that'll be for 5 minutes or so. And then you just keep hitting the button again and it will connect you with somebody else. So you've got two different opportunities to really meet phenomenal people here joining us over in the round table, do the networking, and you can actually do both. So you can come join us and then go network as well. So Patricia, thank you so much. And let's see, Carlos and Brendan, are you there? Do you want to come back up? There you go. This
We're
is
here.
how it works, right? This is teamwork. We could not do this alone. This is teamwork.
Yep. We're here. We're paying attention. We're taking notes, and we're excited. So
Awesome. Well, any questions while you're networking or just with your technology? Carlos is just in the background, going to be watching. You're always going to see a lot of Brendan for those of you that are new. And so we just are so happy that you're here with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Speakers and Coaches Society. So we will see you either over on the round table or over in VIP
networking.
networking.
All right, guys. See ya.